everyone. So I started a petition. You'll see it in my story. It is a petition for women to be allowed to have off on the first day of their period. Um, it is just something that I have dealt with for over 25 years. Yes, I know. I'm only 25 myself. Just kidding. But, but yeah, so it's just something that I've dealt with all of my life. I will say over time my cramps have gotten better, but that's because I've made major changes in my diet, products that I was using, especially feminine products, and different supplements that I make sure my body has, and allowing myself to be still. My body, like me personally, I can't move my body on day one. I have to be in bed, I have to be resting in order to get through the pain. As soon as I start moving around, it starts to shift and I start getting the intense pain and cramping. And oftentimes this leads me to throwing up. There is such a thing called the period flu that women can get every month. So it literally is like being sick every month. I've always said that. When I did the research about a year ago, when I started having episodes at work where the pain would get so unbearable, I would basically start having hot flashes and then I would just throw up. So what happens is that every woman's body is different. So there are some lucky, very few women that I have met who don't experience this, but the majority of women I have come across in my life do go through some sort of discomfort and pain, some more severe than others. And it is something that, I think for a lot of us women, we've been taught to shame. And, I just always remember growing up saying, people saying, like, don't tell anybody you're on your period. Well, you know what? I'd rather people know I'm on my period so they don't think I'm slacking off or they don't think that I'm not happy to be at work. Well, I mean, ultimately, on that day, no, I'm not happy to be at work because I'm in such pain and discomfort that I can't function properly. I can't give my 100% self to what I'm doing. And I don't think that's fair to the employer, but that's also not fair to me because my body is going through something crazy. When you think about it, women's bodies every month when they go through menstruation, they're bleeding. Most of the time when anybody's body is bleeding, there's pain involved with that. There's inflammation. So we're literally bleeding, we're shedding a part of our body, and we're supposed to just be expected to go about our days normally like a man. No, the systems that we have in place right now were built from men and men's state of mind. And I'm sorry, I probably, there probably are things that men go through that women don't understand, but I can tell you, I don't think any of it compares to what a woman goes through during menstruation. And then, obviously with childbirth, which I have not experienced in this lifetime, nor do I plan to, but menstrual pain and cramping is second to childbirth. So, it is just something I think is important. I think people need to have an awareness. It's women should just not be expected to show up 100% during that time. And I think it's just absolutely crucial for a woman to have the time to rest while their body is going through that process. And going back to what I said about the period flu, what happens is that but depending on your hormonal makeup, everybody's is different. So around that time, the hormones can change so quickly that your system doesn't know what to do about it. So that's why it reacts the way that it does. That's why you get your mood swings. That's why you can just start crying out of nowhere, and you just start feeling that discomfort, that pain. So, especially with feeling the nausea and to the point where you throw up. So, I'm just at the point, like, I'm tired of feeling guilty for needing to be off on that day. And sometimes we don't know what day that's going to be. And if we can't find shift coverage for us, we either end up having to call off or we go in, hope for the best, and then things just start going downhill quickly and we just gotta go home. So I think this is something that employers need to have an understanding of, no matter who is in charge, and they need to have the understanding and the compassion and allow women to have that day off without penalty, without making them feel guilty for needing to take care of their bodies. Because, like I said, it's no big thing, and it's not something that should have been brushed off all this time. And again, like I said, these systems were built from a man's world, a man's perspective, and they don't understand, the woman's cycle and what they go through, and how our energy drops, especially around that time. So not only are we dealing with the pain, but like we're fatigued from the pain and from the process, because it's like taking a toll on the body. It really is. Just because it's not visibly seen doesn't mean that it's any less than being at home with the flu. Like, really. So it's just something I've been passionate about for, like I said, over 25 years. And I took the step. I found a website, change.org, and I put the petition up. So I just put it up today. I put the link in my stories. I'll probably share it a couple times. So take a look at it, sign it. Let's get 5 signatures so that it starts being seen on the website there, and just have it grow. Because I know I'm not the only one who goes through this, and I know this is something that needs to change and needs to happen so that we can all just be at peace through this process. So, but that's what I mean. It's like, I'm not only just thinking about myself or us women in this, I'm thinking about the employers as well. Because, me as a business owner, if I ever if I ever got to the point where I had employees, which I'm just self-run at this point, I just always knew that regardless of whatever laws or anything that were out there, I'd always allot that day off for my female employees every month, no matter what. Because I understand the process, the pain, the discomfort, and I understand how, it doesn't matter how hard you try to show up and be there, you just can't show up fully as yourself. You can't fully show up in your role as an employee. And as somebody who's gone through this, like I said, for over 25 years, so I would take ibuprofen. Like, as doctor prescribed, I would take like 3 ibuprofen every so many hours for like 3 days. And over time, this took such a toll on my body, and ibuprofen literally destroyed my body. And I eventually actually developed an allergy to it, so I can't take it. It forced me to stop taking it. So that's why, that's a big reason why I got led down this path of homeopathic and holistic remedies, all natural for everything, really. But I find it disrespectful when somebody says, well, just take an ibuprofen or just take this or take that. No. Like, I'm not putting toxic medications, whether over the counter or pharmaceutical, into my body. Last year, not dealing with this, it was an antibiotic, but last year I almost died taking an antibiotic. 1 antibiotic pill. Had I taken more than that 1 antibiotic pill, I would have died. I absolutely know 1,000,000% I would have died. So I do not put any medication in my body. That is me. That is my personal thing for myself. I will not put over the counter anything into my body unless it's natural supplements that I've researched myself, which aren't medications. They're natural from the earth. So, so like I said, I do find it disrespectful when people just say, "Oh, well, I have an ibuprofen. Do you want to take that?" No, I don't. If I wanted to, I would have taken it already. Thank you. And I know they're just trying to help in a sense, but it doesn't always feel that way. It feels like this way I can like compare it is just like, here, take this and shut up. That's the energy that I feel when people say, here, take this. So take this over the counter medication. If they say like, okay, well, I hope you feel better, go home, take time to rest, like that's a genuine, I care about you. And, as you're going, I care about you going through this process. So, anyways, so check out the link in my stories. And like I said, I'll probably be posting it a few times, maybe on my page as well, just to kind of get in front of people's faces. Also, like, share it, click the link, and then if there's an option to share it with other people who feel the same way and could really benefit from this petition, this issue getting resolved, and a way that we can, all just be relaxed and get through it together. So, all right. Well, if you have any questions, reach out to me. Have a look, and thanks for watching.